Near mint condition, the home of collected editions.
That cover's so awesome.
That, as they say, is that. Marvel Comics. Let's go ahead and get started. What's going on, all you mentees? Uncanny Omar here from Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions. It is the beginning of a new month. It's the month of May of 2024. So it is time to take a look at our monthly budget meeting. We're going to be looking at all the collected editions coming out in May. So let's go ahead and get started. And welcome back, everybody. Now, before going any further, if you're enjoying the content of this channel, and particularly this video, please don't forget to smash that like button. That goes a very long way for us here on the channel. Very small thing you can do, but it means the world to us. And a big thank you for all of you patrons that make videos like this possible. Could not be doing this without you all. And I do want to give a quick shout out to my buddy Dom of X, who put all of this together, including the timestamps that you will be seeing in the description of the video, not just separated by week, but separated by the publisher, which is just insane. So thank you so much for that wonderful help. And a big much love to my buddy Aaron Cobbs, who has helped me year after year putting the Marvel and DC books together. He just had a baby, and the baby's getting healthier, so my buddy, congratulations. Being a father, man, forever changes you. Okay, we've got 4 weeks to look at because we already have the May 1st books from the previous month. And again, if you want to see the written documentation, that can be found on our Patreon. The link is in the description of the video. And I will be back on Sunday with my top 10 books to must-buy essential reads for the month of May. All right, let's go ahead and kick it off with Marvel Comics, May 8th. And that is Miracle Man by Gaiman and Buckingham, The Silver Age, coming at you that first week. So we have Silver Age 1 through 7 and the material from Miracle Man by Gaiman and Buckingham 1 through 6, when they were originally published, I believe, in 2015. So, oh my gosh, this book is amazing. $24.99, 216 pages. Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars Battle World, $15.99, 112 pages, and this is collecting Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars Battle Worlds 1 through 4. It is the newer series, but it is written by Tom DeFalco, reuniting with Pat O'Leaf, who, of course, they worked together on Spider-Girl. So I'm in for that, and then you have the cover there by Giuseppe Camuncoli. This is not originally written when the Secret Wars was coming out in 2015, but it is a new series. Daredevil Black Armor by D.G. Chichester. I think I got it. Nitho Diaz, I got that one. And Paulo Siqueira are, well, the artists in the book. This is collecting the 4-issue miniseries. And again, this is taking place in the 90s when, right after Fall from Grace, Matt Murdock, Daredevil, was wearing that black outfit right there. I'm a fan of it, and I know it was very divisive. Old school Daredevil Gene Colan fans were like, not in my backyard, but you know, I grew up in the 80s and early 90s, this stuff was coming out, so of course I was like, ooh, edgy, cool. Lockjaw, Avengers Assemble. This is collecting the Lockjaw and Pet Avengers Unleashed 1 through 4 and Lockjaw and the Pet Avengers 1 through 4. $13.99, 200 pages. This is a digest-sized book, though, so it's a smaller scale book. Contest of Chaos, Steve Orlando and Carlos Nieto working on this book. You have a cover there by Brian Hitch. This is the crossover within the annuals of Scarlet Witch, Spider-Man, Iron Man, Fantastic Four, Moon Knight, Spider-Gwen, Venom, X-Men, and Avengers. All of them from the 2023 annual. And the book is $34.99, 256 pages. Captain America by J. Michael Straczynski, Volume 1, Stand. And Jesus Saiz is the artist on the book, as well as Lan Medina. This is collecting the first 6 issues of this series. I will say I just finished reading it, and I think my wife wants to do the overview because she really enjoyed it. And I did too. But coming off of the Kelly and Lansing series, they did change a little bit of the status quo as to where Captain America is living. So I always suggest reading that first before reading this, but it is a fresh new start. There's just a couple of things that are going on in Captain America's personal life that JMS touches upon. Hulk, Modern Era Epic Collection. Who is the Red Hulk? So this is the first volume of the Hulk Modern Era, collecting Hulk 1 through 12, King Size Hulk number 1, Incredible Hulk 600, and Wolverine number 50. Jeff Loeb and McGinnis, Arthur Adams, Frank Cho, just to name a few of the talented people working on this book. $44.99, 440 pages. Captain Marvel by Alyssa Wong, Volume 1, The Omen. You have artwork. Oh, I didn't know Jan Bazaldua was doing the artwork in the book. Big fan of Jan Bazaldua's art. Jan Bartel does the cover. This is collecting the first 4 issues, 128 pages, and $17.99. From the world of DC Comics, we are getting Steelworks by Sam Basri and Michael Dorn, Philip Kennedy Johnson. This is collecting Steelworks 1 through 6. I assume it's the character Steel right there. A Hero Reborn. And that's the first trade paperback we're getting. And then 52 Volume 1 is coming out with a new printing. $49.99. And the first 26 issues. Now, it does not collect the backup stories, which are only 1 or 2 pages, which is like the origin of the DC Universe, or the history of the DC Universe. I think that was collected in a separate trade paperback. And Nightwing, A Night in Bloodhaven Compendium, Volume 1, collecting Nightwing 1 through 4, the miniseries, Nightwing 1 through 25, 1 million, Nightwing Annual number 1. Wizard presents Nightwing Half, Nightwing and the Hunters 1 through 4, Green Arrow 134 to 135, Robin 55, Detective Comics 723 to 725, and the 1 million Detective Comics. It is a compendium, $59.99, 1,040 pages. And from the world of Image Comics, we're getting the Gunslinger Spawn Volume 4. And that collects issues 19 through 24, Todd McFarlane, Brett Booth. Man, I've seen a lot of Brett Booth art recently on X-Men, and I'm like, oh my gosh, somebody get him an ongoing series. He did draw X-Men when Chris Claremont came back to the book for a while, and then I think it was it Scott Lobdell that wrapped up that era. Singularity, this is an original graphic novel, is coming out that very same week. This is by Matthew Groom and Bear McCary. So I want to say Singularity is part of the Massiveverse. I could be wrong. Maybe. Oh my gosh, it has a lot of collectors in here. I'm probably wrong. But let me know in the comments down below. Maybe it's the design of the book that I thought, oh, that's cool. Transformers Volume 1 is coming out. And interesting enough, there's going to be a direct market variant too. These are the trade paperbacks of Transformers. From the Skybound era. Dark Horse Comics, we have The World of Black Hammer, Volume 3. Jeff Lemire, Tate Brumbaugh, and this is all side stories from Black Hammer. This has previously been released in hardcover formats, but oh my gosh, Colonel Weird, the Cosmagog is in here. That is a freaking beautiful story. Barbalian is in here, Red Planet. And this one is $29.99, 248 pages. But you do have artwork in here from Gabriel Walta and Tyler Crook, just to name a few of the creators that help out Jeff Lemire in this book. Tear Us Apart from Van Jensen and Jay Barakul, or Barukel, sorry about that, $19.99 and 120 pages. This looks like it's an original graphic novel, if I'm not mistaken. Illustrated by Alessandro Micheli. Youth, Volume 3 is coming out by Kurt Pires and Alex Diotto. $22.99, 122 pages. This is a Comixology original, and now Dark Horse has been printing those in trade paperback formats. I love that they're doing this. Masters of the Universe, Forge of Destiny, Tim Seeley, Eddie Nunez, and collecting Forge of Destiny 1 through 4. This book is a paperback, 104 pages, $19.99, and it is all set in the Kevin Smith era of Masters of the Universe. From Boom Studios, we are getting Nomads, The Sky Kingdom, Volume 1 by Captain Juder. That's an awesome name. If it's not, if you change it to that, still a really cool name. And this is the first 23 episodes of the Webtoon series. Okay, so Boom is getting into Webtoon collections as well. And Sirens of the City trade paperback is coming out by Joanne Starter and collecting Sirens of the City 1 through 6. From the world of IDW, we're getting Dark Spaces, Good Deeds coming out that week, as well as Corgi, the Complete Tale, with Christian Slade, who will be joining me later today. If you're watching this on Friday, oh my gosh, I hope I got this right. Am I doing this in the right Friday? Recording it on a Tuesday, editing it on Wednesday. Think comes out on Friday, usually comes out on Friday. Regardless, Christian Slade will be joining me. And this book is so beautiful, and all of it now put together into one complete collection. This is by IDW and Top Shelf Productions. And also from IDW, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Saturday Morning Adventures, Volume 2. So this is 128 pages, $16.99, and collects issues 1 through 5 of the new ongoing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon. Or based on the cartoon, that is. From Dynamite, we are getting AOD versus Reanimator. So Army of Darkness versus Reanimator. Eric Burnham, who I got to interview a couple of years ago to talk about this book right here. This collection is finally coming out. And this is the Necronomicon Rising. And Stuart Sager is the artist on the book. So both of them returning to Dynamite to tell this story of this amazing crossover. Darkwing Duck finally coming out in a hardcover and in a trade paperback format. And this is by Amanda Diebert and Carlo Lauro and David Nakayama doing the cover art for, well, the cover art for the trade paperback. The hardcover, I believe, no, that is David Nakayama. I can tell by his DNA signature right there. So doing the hardcover cover and the cover to the soft cover. Both of them available the same day, knock on wood, if no delays. $24.99 for the hardcover and $19.99 for the trade paperback. Lady Hell is coming out that very same week, and that is by Eric Burnham. And this is Lady Hell is back to reclaim her throne, no matter who has to pay. $17.99. Now, from the world of manga, we have Black Clover, my goodness, already in volume 35. That is being published by Viz. I'm hoping that when these long series are over, that we eventually get box sets. That's just me. Also from Viz Comics, we're getting the Blue Box, volume 10. And that is by Koji Miura. As well as the Chainsaw Man Volume 15, which I know a second box set is coming. This is the Tatsuki Fujimoto series, but my daughter just loves it so much. I have to keep getting it for her. Just like I got to start getting One Piece. The Elusive Samurai is coming out. This is a Volume 11, and that is being published also by Viz. Yusei Matsui is the mangaka behind it. I haven't even read that, but I think my buddy Gio has read it. Fire Force continuing their Omnibus collections with a Volume 10. Then this collects issues, or Volumes 28 through 30 of the Tankobon by Atsushi Okubo. That's the mangaka behind the series, and that one is $19.99. As well as I See Your Face Turned Away. Now that is a Volume 1, and that one is being published by the folks at Kodansha. And Rumi Ichinohe is the mangaka behind that book. In the Name of Mermaid Princess, Volume 2 is coming out. That is by Yoshino Fumikawa and Miya Tashido. And that is being published by Viz Comics, $11.99. As well as Mobsters in Love. And that is being published by the folks over at Square Enix. You know, Square Enix, I want to say they've been putting out a lot of good stuff lately. Stuff I've been interested in. I haven't seen this. This is by Chiyoko Origami. And yeah, sure, mobsters also have to fall in love. My Special One is coming out. This is a Volume 6, and that is being published by Viz, as well as Star Wars Mandalorian Manga Volume 2. Did I know about this one? I can't remember if I knew about this one. But Yeah, it's coming out by Yuzuki Osawa is the mangaka. This one is $14.99. So I assume this originally premiered in Japan. Japan. Heart of Thomas is coming out. This is the new printing, and it is a hardcover being published by the folks at Fantagraphics, and that's by Moto Hagio. That is the mangaka behind this hardcover collection. Team Phoenix Volume 4, heck yes. Did my overview of that already publish, of the first 3 volumes? I love that series. Ooh, that's such a great read. Especially if you're a fan of the Tezuka era. It's like Smash Brothers Tezuka. And then Viz is publishing the You and I Are Polar Opposites Volume 1. Now, from other publishers, we have Always Anthony. Not we always have Always Anthony. Always Anthony is coming out in a trade paperback and in a hardcover format. That's being published by the folks at Balzer Bray. And we're also getting Chef's Kiss, the deluxe edition, coming out. And that is being published by the folks over at Oni Press. And it is a deluxe edition hardcover by Jarrett Melendez. And this is $24.99. And Danica Brine is the artist on the book. As well as Ciruelo, Lord, Fairies, and Dragons. Now that is coming out in a trade paperback edition. Oh, I'm sorry. No, this is a hardcover from Alien Books. Alien's the publisher of course, Valiant here in America now. And they're also publishing Manga. This is by Cabral Ciruelo. And Curveball is coming out from Disney Hyperion. As well as Dear Editor, and that is Dear Editor as in D-E-E-R, Editor, by Mad Cave Studios. I love that cover. That looks really interesting. And Devour is coming out in a hardcover format. Now, we are also getting that very same week, the Essential Judge Anderson Satan. And that is, of course, published by Rebellion 2000 AD. And that cover is beautiful. This is by Arthur Ranson and, of course, Alan Grant. But, man, that cover. Wow. $26.99. These are an oversized, almost looks like a magazine-sized book. Fetch, Volume 2, The Rescue, is coming out that very same week. As well as the Lore Olympus Volume 6. Now, Lore Olympus is huge in the book market. I'm not sure about the direct market, but I just remember going to New York Comic Con and how many people were just eating that up. I was very impressed. The New Adventures of Turning Red is coming out in a hardcover and a softcover. And that is being published by the folks at Paper Cuts. Is this what the movie was based on? It looks like the characters from the movie Growing Up Can Be a Beast. But everything, I didn't know the movie was, oh yeah, I see now. Disney, Pixar, Turning Red. Man, it's really interesting to see where Disney is putting their books. You know, you got Uncle Scrooge coming out from Marvel, but you've got Fantagraphics publishing the old school stuff. You've got Star Wars, some by Marvel, and then also at Dark Horse. And Paper Cuts is doing stuff here. And then you have some of the manga, too. They're just everywhere. Noodles, Rice, and Everything Spice Cookbook is coming out. I really like that freaking title. That's adorable. That is coming out that very same week, as well as Money Shot Volume 4. And Money Shot Volume 4 is being published by the folks at Vault Comics. And this is by Tim Seeley and also Giselle Lagasse. And I believe that's a different artist than the original artist on the book, but that's finally coming out with a volume 4. And we're also getting the Peanuts, Snoopy's, Beagle's Scout Tales trade paperback coming out that very same week, as well as the Rick and Morty double feature volume 3, and that is a deluxe edition. And Rick and Morty, those are usually published by the folks over at Oni Press if it's the deluxe hardcovers. Dark Horse has the smaller. I still don't understand the rights of those things. Robert Silverberg's Belzegor is coming out in a hardcover, and that is being published by the folks at Humanoids. And this is a re-release of the fan favorite adaptation of Robert Silverberg's Downward to the Earth. And it is highly It's accompanied by the highly anticipated Children of Belzegor, the original never-before-released sequel, $39.99, and that one is a reprint or a restock and a hardcover. The Six Gun Omnibus, which if you've watched my channel, I've already done an overview of the very first Omnibus, and this one is being published by Oni Press, coming out May 8th. And we're also getting Sunhead in a hardcover format, and that's being published by Harper Alley. Well, actually, no, it's coming out in a trade paperback as well by Alex Hassan. $18.99 for the trade, $26.99 for the hardcover. With Wolf is coming out from the folks over at Vault Comics, and this is by Colin Kelly, Jackson Lansing, and Dalen Ogden. And $19.99. Man, those guys, I've enjoyed everything they've done. Now, while we're done with the first week of the month, for this portion of the video, if you live in Canada, don't forget to check out our Canadian sponsor. BD Cosmos, the Canadian leader in graphic novels. They have a physical storefront in Montreal, Quebec, and their website, bdcosmos.com, offers 25% off your order of over $99 or more, and free shipping everywhere in Canada for every order of $200 or more.
Their shipping care is exceptional. Your books will stay cozy through the rough Canadian weather and arrive to you in near mint condition.
After checkout, let them know Near Mint Condition sent you their way, and you'll be added to the monthly $25 gift card raffle. Entries are valid for new and returning customers.
Don't be afraid to call or email them. Ask them questions. Their staff is always happy to help guide you towards the right purchase. Visit their website, bdcosmos.com, for more. BD Cosmos, with rewards and raffles taking care of customers in Canada. Eh?
May 15th, from Marvel Comics, we have Capwolf and the Howling Commandos. Yes, not by Mark Grunwald, who created the concept, but this is by Stephanie Phillips and Carlos Magno. Magno is a phenomenal artist. This is collecting Capwolf and the Howling Commandos 1 through 4. Stephanie Phillips, I think she was the one that wrote some of the Harley Quinn books that I've read recently. And the cover there is by Ryan Brown. That's not the first time we've seen Cap back, right? In the Howling Commandos. Uncanny Avengers, The Resistance is coming out, and that is the trade paperback. So this is volume 1 by Jerry Duggan, Javier Garon, Emilio Laiso, and Joshua Cassara, collecting Uncanny Avengers 1 through 5 in the free comic book day Avengers X-Men. $19.99, 160 pages. Astonishing Iceman Out Cold by Steve Orlando and Vincenzo Caruto. And this is collecting Astonishing Iceman 1 through 5. Now, of course, this is before the relaunch, too, of X-Men. Civil War Volume 2, or Civil War 2, is getting a new printing, collecting Civil War 2, 0 through 8, and then material from Free Comic Book Day 2016. Brian Michael Bendis, Olivia Coipel, and David Marquez, I think, are the main artists, but also Sarah Pacelli, if I'm not mistaken. She does some, or Pacelli. Daredevil by Frank Miller Omnibus, the companion, is coming out this week, and I've already done an overview on the channel if you want to go and check out this book. Collecting Spectacular Spider-Man 27 and 28, Daredevil 219, 226 to 233, Daredevil Man Without Fear 1 through 5, and then the graphic novel Love and War. Captain America Epic Collection Bucky Reborn, the new printing, collecting Captain America 120 to 138. I do believe it's going to have the new, it's in my read pile, the new title on it, going back to the classic Captain America title. Wow, they're cranking out books this week. Amazing Spider-Man Epic Collection Assassination, the new printing, collecting Amazing Spider-Man 311 and 325, the Amazing Spider-Man Annual Number 23, and the graphic novel Parallel Lives. David Michelinie, Todd McFarlane, Jerry Conway, Rob Liefeld, Eric Larson, just to name a few of the creators on this book. And Wolverine Omnibus Volume 5. Oh my gosh, okay. So collecting issues 76 to 101, and every month I do my top 10. This would have snuck on there, but this would probably be number 11, honestly. Top 10 was hard this month. It always is, Why do I limit myself to 10? Oh, because you gotta put limitations in your life. All right, collecting Wolverine 76 to 101, Annual 95, Marvel Comics Presents 150 to 151, Cable number 16, Wolverine Evolution, Wolverine Nick Fury Scorpio Rising, Ghost Rider Wolverine Punisher The Dark Design, Wolverine Knight of Terra, Wolverine Gambit Victims 1 through 4, Uncanny X-Men 332, Logan Path of the Warlord, and material for Marvel Comics Presents 152 to 155, the Wolverine stories. So all 3 covers will be available the same day. On our social media, we've already shown what all 3 covers, like the entire dust jackets, look like, along with the spines. If you're purchasing by the spine, it was also posted on our Patreon. But yes, this is the era of Larry Hama, Adam Kubert becoming the ongoing artist here. It started with 75, but this really showcases his artwork throughout the book. Oh my gosh, and especially right with that fight against Sabretooth is one of the most badass fights I've seen in comics. But it's not just Sabretooth. I mean, you have the return of Cyber, you have Bloodscream coming back, Lady Deathstrike, the fight against Deadpool, the return of Ogun, and then of course the Phalanx crossover with Cable. It's a fun era. Would have been top 10, but man, there were other books. Oh, goodness. Another epic collection, Planet of the Apes. The Adventures Epic Collection. The original Marvel years. So, collecting Planet of the Apes 1 through 11. And Doug Mensch, George Tusca, Alfredo Alcala, E.M. Gist doing the cover there. $34.99, 224 pages. It's practically the same material that was in the Omnibus edition. Same page count and everything. Now, from the world of DC Comics, we have Batman Fortress that is kicking off that week for DC, and Poison Ivy Volume 1, The Virtuous Cycle. Now, this is the trade paperback version of the already released hardcover, which was an amazing read if you haven't read it, and collecting issues 1 through 6. This one is $16.99, 160 pages. Superman Volume 2, this is continuing the Joshua Williamson series. The Chained, $16.99, 176 pages, collecting Superman 6 through 12, and Justice League International Omnibus Volume 3. See why the top 10 was hard? Oh my gosh. Yes, Keith Giffen, J.M. DeMatteis, cover there by Kevin McGuire. And Adventures of Superman by George Perez. This is the new hardcover edition. $49.99, and this collects DC Comics Presents 61, Action Comics 643 to 652, Annual number 2, and Superman 1 through 6, the 2011 series. So some of this stuff has already been published or printed in trade paperback collections. The Superman story was that one, yeah, that came out in hardcover and in trade paperback. But this, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, 6x9, 1048. Should be a, no, wait. Doesn't look like it's deluxe size. $49.99 though. Yeah, I don't think it's deluxe unless it says deluxe. And looking at the trim size of the book, it doesn't seem like it's a deluxe edition. But being that it's a new printing, please let me know in the comments down below if I'm wrong. Batman 3 Jokers, the direct market exclusive cover has now been moved to this particular week. It was supposed to come out last month, but so was Wolverine. So there's always, some delays. And this is collecting all 3 issues, $29.99. This is another one that's a standard size hardcover, 160 pages. And from Image Comics, we have Hexagon Bridge coming out, and that is a trade paperback by Richard Blake, who is the writer and artist, and I love that cover. This collects all 5 issues, $14.99. I love that cover. It has a very almost Mobius feel to it. So just cover alone looks awesome. Siphon Volume 2 is coming out that week, and that is by Mohsen Ashraf and Arish Akanda. And this is collecting Siphon 1 through 4. So was there a previous Siphon? Yeah, it just says Siphon 1 through 4. So maybe the previous Siphon volume collected another series by another name? Not sure. Universal Monsters Dracula hardcover is coming out that week. So there's also a direct market cover for that book as well. So this is the series that is by James Tynion and Martin Simmons. So collecting the 4 issues of this miniseries. And, oh man, both covers are beautiful. And, oh, it's going to be tough to choose which ones. The Rec Market covers by Stephanie Pepper. All right, moving on to Dark Horse Comics, where we have Critical Role, The Mighty Nine Origins, Beauregard, Lionette, and this is a hardcover collection, $17.99, 56 pages. So if you're into the Critical Role, like my buddy Amanda is, that might be for you. Continuing the Eerie Archives with Volume 5, collecting issues 23 to 27. 264 pages, $24.99 with that beautiful cover there. And you have illustrations in here by Tom Sutton, Ernie Colin, and Jim Steranko. Tony Williamsune actually does some of the artwork in here. And the EC Archives Weird Fantasy Volume 3. Oh, give me the EC stuff, man. Collecting issues 13 through 18 with, of course, the new digital colors that they've been using. This was previously released in a hardcover collection, but now comes in this softcover edition, $19.99, 216 pages. And there is an adaptation of Ray Bradbury's story in here. Joe Orlando, Al Williamson, Al Feldstein, and Bill Gaines, some of the wonderful creators. From the world of Boom Studios, we are getting, finally, Something is Killing the Children. Volume 2, both coming out in a hardcover for $49.99, but the exact same material can be found in the slipcase edition for $69.99, and it is, again, James Tynion with Werther Deldera, and this collects Something is Killing the Children 21 through 35. So that is finally coming out that week. And from IDW, we have Kingdom Riders, trade paperback, and that is by Shannon Eric Denton and Marcos Toe. And it looks like an original graphic novel, and 208 pages, $12.99. And from the world of Dynamite, we have Lord of the Jungle. I always think of the Phantom when I hear that. Dan Jurgens, Benito Gallego, Gary Frank doing that cover. This collects issues 1 through 6, so it's a book about Tarzan. That cover is killer. And, man, Dynamite's just cranking them out this week. Also, Vampirella Strikes, Volume 1, Hell on Earth. And Jonathan Lau and Tom Snigoski are the creators behind this, collecting issues 1 through 5, plus a gallery of covers. And Weaver Omnibus is coming out by Andy Diggle, Aaron Campbell, and Sean Phillips. Dang, that is a hell of a team. $34.99. Doesn't have the page count on that one or what exactly it collects, but that looks killer. From the world of manga, we have A Sign of Affection Omnibus that is by Sue Morishita. And this is collecting the first 3 tankobons and published by Kodansha Comics. And that is $22.99. We're also getting Dead Company Volume 3 coming out that week. And that is by the folks over at... Tokyo Pop. I keep forgetting that they are like print on demand. It's by Yoshiki Tonagai. And looks to be finally coming out. I think it was supposed to be out in December. Disney's manga, The Nightmare Before Christmas, is also coming out that same week. As well as Keiyaku Volume 1, Bound by Law, coming out that same week. And that is being published by Kodansha. And we're also getting the Pokemon Adventure Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire Volume 2. Living the Line is coming out with, I believe this is their second manga. This is Her Frankenstein by Norikazu Kawashima. And this is $19.99, and it is coming out May 15th. And this is the psycho horror classic that Junji Ito called Frightening But Moving, story about an unfortunate individual who, lost in search of his true self, finds his own annihilation instead. So, Norikazu Kawashima is both the writer and artist on this book, and that is due out that very same week. And from Udon Entertainment, Street Fighter 6, Volume 1, hardcover, Days of the Eclipse. So this has artwork in here from Bingus, Panzer, Chisato Mita, and Edwin Huang, and Matt Moylan doing the writing. This is coming out May 15th, $49.99. Love those Udon books. They're phenomenal. From other publishers, you have the Choose Your Own Adventure forecasts from Stonehenge. Those books never get old. When I was a kid, I freaking loved and gravitated towards those books. Oni Press is coming out with Covenant. This is a graphic novel, $24.99, and it collects episodes 1 through 18 of the webtoon comic by Lysandra Vuong, who is both the writer and artist on the book. And Pitar and Lisa is coming out in a hardcover format, and that is being published by Fantagraphics. $39.99. 2010, his graphic novel The Man Who Bought a Smile received a Young Talent Award from the International Comics Festival. Cover looks beautiful. And from Ahoy Comics, we're getting Project Cryptid, and that is by Mark Russell and Matt Bors, Paul Cornell, Richard Pace, Gene Ha. Man, that has a hella talent, and that cover looks absolutely stunning. Those colors. This is $17.99, and it is a trade paperback. And we're also getting Rick and Morty Compendium Volume 2, and that's coming out from the folks over at Oni Press. So $39.99. This collects issues 16 through 30 of the comic book series. And also coming out that week is Self-Esteem and the End of the World coming out. And that is being published by the folks over at Drawn and Quarterly. And this is by Luke Healy, who did the art and the writing on this book. $24.95. And that is a trade paperback. Summer Vamp is coming out in a hardcover and a softcover. So that is being published by Random House Graphics. And we're also getting Witches of Silver Lake Volume 1. And that's being published by the folks at Legendary Comics. And I want to say this is by Simon Curtis and Stephanie Son. And that same week is Young Hag and the Witch's Quest, coming out in a hardcover and a softcover format. And from Ablaze Publishing, we're getting the Creator Spotlight J.P. Roth. This is the Bandit set. $27.99 for both of those books. And Idhun Chronicles Volume 1 is coming out. Volume 1 and 2 together on the same set from Ablaze Publishing. And from Oni Press, we're also getting Isubonshi, and that is by Ryan Lang, both the writer and artist on the book. And Harper Alley is coming out with Lunar Boy in a hardcover and a softcover format. This is by Jess Wibowo and Scene Wibowo. $15.99 for the trade paperback, $24.99 for the hardcover. Now, if you live in Europe and you're interested in pre-ordering or purchasing any of these books, check out our sponsor.
If you're in Europe and you're interested in buying these books, definitely check out Walt's Comic Shop in Berlin, Germany. They have the cheapest pre-order prices, flat shipping rate of €12 for all EU countries, emails answered within 24 hours, waltscomicshop.com, and you can use the code Near Mint Condition at checkout and get free shipping for all EU countries with your first order over €40. That's Walt's Comic Shop, your reliable source for omnis and premium collected editions in Europe. Ding!
Coming out the third week of May, we have Predator, the Original Years Omnibus from Marvel Comics. This is Volume 2. Both covers available the same way, collecting Predator, Hell and Hot Water 1 through 3, Predator Primal 1 and 2, Nemesis 1 and 2, Captive 1 Shot, Homeworld 1 through 4, Xenogenesis 1 through 4, Predator the 2009 series 1 through 4, Predators 1 through 4, Predators Beating the Bullet number 1, Predators Preserve the Game number 1, Predator Hunters from 2017 1 through 5, Predator Hunters 2 the following year 1 through 4, Predator Hunters 3 in 2020 1 through 4, and then material from Dark Horse Presents 124 and Free Comic Book Day 2009 Predator. $125, 992 pages. X-Force by Benjamin Percy, Volume 8, $15.99, 112 pages, collecting X-Force 43 through 46. And Captain America by Nick Spencer, Omnibus Volume 2. Again, it will have 2 covers, collecting the remaining Nick Spencer era of Captain America. So, Captain America 18 through 24. This is the Sam Wilson series. Captain America Steve Rogers 12 through 19. Captain America 25, when both series combine into one. Secret Empire 0 through 10. Secret Empire Omega number 1. Generations Sam Wilson, Captain America Steve Rogers, Captain America. One shot. And then material from Free Comic Book Day 2017, Secret Empire. And Not Brand Ech from 2018, number 14. I didn't know they had a series. $125, 904 pages. Amazing Spider-Man by Zeb Wells, Volume 9, Gang War. So this is Zeb Wells with Joey Vasquez on artwork, John Romita Jr., of course. And this collects issues 39 through 44, as well as Amazing Spider-Man Gang War First Strike. There was another event in the, was it the 90s, I think, that was called Gang War? Avengers Epic Collection, The Evil Reborn. So collecting issues 189 to 209 and annual number 10, and material from Tales to Astonish number 12, 528 pages, $49.99. Luke Cage Gang War by Rodney Barnes and Ramon Box. And this is collecting Luke Cage Gang War 1 through 4. Looks like it's also featuring Jessica Jones, I assume, and Iron Fist, but no longer Iron Fist Danny Rand. Or is he still going by Iron Fist with a t-shirt? I can't remember. Cloak and Dagger also look like they're going to be featured in the book. From the world of DC Comics, we are getting by the way, Star Wars Legends was supposed to come out this day. The Epic Collection Old Republic Volume 1. And they did have to recall it. And maybe on a future video, maybe on Saturday stream. So tomorrow I'll show you why they had to recall it. So it's a good thing they send out review copies sometimes. So I'll show you why they had to recall it. Remind me on Saturday, tomorrow, if you're watching this in the future. Omar, when you're editing, future Omar, don't forget to leave this part in. Okay, now DC Comics. Arkham Asylum! How could you not love a title like that? Arkham Asylum, baby. That's where it's at. Fables, the Deluxe Edition, Volume 16. This is the only one that I'll see it when I believe it when I see it. This collects issues 151 to 162. And it is the return of Bill Willingham to the book, as well as Mark Buckingham. But I thought that there was a delay. So in the comments, please let me know if this is actually coming, because I thought they had put a hiatus on the book. I'd love to see it. I love that series. Superman, Son of Kal-El, Volume 3, Battle for Gamora, with 2 R's. Tom Taylor and Cian Torme. And this is Son of Kal-El 11 through 15. World's Finest Teen Titans, another Mark Waid book, but this one with Emanuela Lupacchino, and it is collecting World's Finest Teen Titans 1 through 6. And it looks like the classic era. Well, no, that's... Oh, man, I can't keep up with what world we're looking at. Did Mark Waid ever figure it out? This is a hardcover for $24.99. I remember him asking social media, what's the status quo on Robin, and what's been reimagined ever since they rebooted the whole universe? Batman Black Mirror, the deluxe edition coming out. Not a reprint of the Absolute, but a deluxe edition. And it's getting a direct market cover, too. Collecting Detective Comics 871 to 881. And bonus materials. DC Pride, Love and Justice. I believe these are oversized hardcover books. This is 124 pages, $19.99. Mariko Tamaki, James Tynion, and Nicole Maines are some of the creators behind this. And it has New Year's Evil #1, Mysteries in Love #1, DC Pride #1, and Monsters in Love #1 collected in here. Batman Wayne Family Adventures Volume 4. This is collecting the webtoon series. I believe they're called episodes whenever... Oh my gosh, we're already on Volume 4? And I think a Volume 5 has already been solicited that comes out in August? Wow, time's just flying by. Another webtoon book, Vixen NYC Volume 5. And this is another one that's collecting many episodes from the webtoon series. And the webtoons just don't stop. Zatanna and the Ripper, Volume 3. I did an overview of my Zatanna book. I don't think it's actually... Yeah, I don't think I've actually posted it yet. But talking about how different this series is than the Zatanna from Paul Dini's collection, because that one actually is dropping F-bombs and stuff. 208 pages, $14.99. From the world of Image Comics, we have Blood Commandment Volume 1 coming out that very same week. That is by Simon Kudransky, both the writer and artist. And it has the first 4 issues of this book, $16.99. Anybody read it? I like that, not Evil Dead, Dead Rising cover? What is that cover? It's the second one of that series. It's the comedy. Of course, I'll remember after I finish the video. That always happens. Bloodstrike Battle Blood Book 1. So this is the Rob Liefeld character, and this is written and drawn by him. $12.99. Bloodstrike is back, baby. Maybe not the team. Well, no, the team looks like it's in the background. Deep Cuts coming out in trade paperback format, and that's by Kyle Higgins and Joe Clark. Ramon Perez doing the art in there, and this collects Deep Cuts 1 through 6. And we're also getting Eden World, and that is by Tony S. Daniel doing the writing and the art, collecting Eden World, or Edenwood, not World, sorry, 1 through 5, $9.99. Oh, cool. They're doing that entry price point and get you hooked, and then you'll buy volume 2. I think they always bump it up a little bit to like $16.99 or so. Haunted Girl trade paperback is coming out that very same week, and that is by Ethan Sachs and Naomi Sachs. Collecting the first 4 issues, or maybe all 4 issues. That looks creepy and awesome. That cover's awesome. And Spawn Origins Deluxe Edition Volume 7. So these are the big slipcase edition books. Issues 151 to 175, $99.99. Now, from the world of Dark Horse Comics, we are getting Night at the Belfry, and that is by Xavier Sazon. And I don't know if this is... No, this is an original graphic novel. It was in a web series first. Trade paperback, $22.99, 128 pages. Hellboy Artist Collection, Richard Corbin. This would have been number 12. But I already have the stories collected in the library editions. So yes, if you already have the library editions, or well, no, the big monster size Hellboy doesn't have everything in here. 312 pages, $49.99. It collects the one-shot Hellboy in Mexico, the Hellboy House of the Living Dead, the Bride of Hell, Hellboy Macoma 1 and 2, the double feature of Evil one-shot, Hellboy the Mirror, that's the short story, and then Hellboy the Crooked Man 1 through 3. So like I said, some of it is in the library. Why am I pointing up there? You all aren't seeing this. It's where my books are. Some of them are in the Hellboy library editions, and most of the stuff, and then some of it hasn't been collected in a big format, but now it's coming out in this big format. I'll be doing an advanced overview of that. Medea. This is a original graphic novel, and it was originally published in French. So it is by, oh my gosh, here we go, Blandine Le Calais and Nancy Pena. I can do that one. $29.99 and 320 pages. I always apologize for butchering names, by the way. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Deluxe Edition Volume 2. So this is the second hardcover from the new era of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Not to be confused with Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Year 1, Year 2, but this is Book 2. $75 collecting Mighty Morphin 9 through 16 and Power Rangers 9 through 16, as well as Power Rangers Unlimited Countdown to Ruin number 1, and an all-new 10-page short story from Dorado Quick and artist Brenna Bythewood. And that is coming out that week. From the world of IDW, we have EC Covers Artisans hardcover, or this is the trade paperback edition, $39.99, 160 pages. It has been released in hardcover before, but this is the cover art to the EC Covers. Beautiful collection. From the world of Dynamite, we have Deja Torres, Crimson Genesis. So that is coming out that week, as well as the Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, Volume 3. And finally, a book I've been waiting for, and I hope it comes out. Knock on wood. Vampirella versus Red Sonja. I have been waiting for that book for a while, since I've heard about it. So, yes. Please, no more delays. Manga! Oh my gosh, we're gonna go through this as quick as possible because they have decided to release just about every freaking volume, and I'm not even going through all of them. I'm just going through some of the ones that piqued my interest. So here we go. Bloodblade Volume 2 is coming out that week, as well as Boki. Is it Boki the Rock? Is that how you pronounce it, or is it Bochi the Rock? I'm just gonna go and say Boki the Rock. Volume 2 is coming out that week. Bungo Stray Dogs, the official comic anthology, Volume 1 is coming out that week. And finally, I've been wanting to read this forever, Burst Angels, Volume 1. I was a fan of the anime, so I've been wanting to read the series in manga format. Days with My Stepsister is coming out that week, and that is a Volume 1. As well as, that one's, by the way, published by Yen Press. As well as Enroll Back Volume 2 is coming out, and that is being published by the folks at Alien Books. Friday at Atelier Volume 1 is coming back. That name is just so, or the Atelier name is just so Atelier. I don't even know how to pronounce it properly. That name is so popular in manga. Like, they've used it for video games and manga. Wonder what it is. Anyway, let's keep going. Glitch Volume 3. I love the first volume, so I'm looking forward to Volume 2 and 3. I haven't read Volume 2 yet, and that one's being published by Yen Press. We're also getting Go Go Loser Ranger. How could you not get excited about that book? It's a Volume 10. Volume 10? I didn't know they were... Okay, anyway. Goblin Slayer Day in the Life Volume 1 is coming out, so this is a side story. God Bless the Mistaken Volume 2 is coming out. That is being published by Yen Press. As well as the Heart Gear Volume 4 coming out that very same week. And we're also getting Honey Trap Shared House Volume 3. And that's being published by Yen Press. And My Girlfriend's Not Here Today Volume 1 coming out that week. What is that? Whoa. What? My Girlfriend's Not Here. I assume you're not going to be playing video games. Well, maybe you are. I don't know. Who am I to judge? All right. Mysterious Disappearances Volume 1 is coming out that very same week. That's being published by Seven Seas. And No Game, No Life Chapter 2 Easter Union Volume 1. What a title, is coming out that very same week. And that's being published by the folks at Yen Press. That one's $13. And One Punch Man, One Punch 28 is coming out. Perks of Being an S-Class Heroine, and that is a Volume 1. Easy Press is coming out with that particular book. And Sailor Moon, Naoko Takeuchi Collection, Volume 8. I love the covers. I'm hoping we have the big editions, what were they called? The Eternal editions. We have the reprints of the Tankobons. Come on, baby. Give us them hardcovers. Give us the hardcovers. That's what we want. That's what my wife wants. She likes gays, but not me. Volume 1. Oh, these titles are so amazing. This is by Akira Hirahara and Naoto Asahara, being published by Yen Press. And we're also getting Sword Art Online Aincrad, Volume 1. Tied to... There's a lot of Volume 1s coming out this week. Tied to You Volume 1 is also coming out, and that's being published by Easy Press. And Tokyo These Days Volume 2 coming out from Viz. That is a hardcover. Witch Hat Atelier. Hey, that's what I was just talking about. Volume 12 is coming out that very same week. As well as Unholy Blood Volume 2. And Yearning Fox Lies in Wait Volume 1 is coming out that very same week. as well as that one, by the way, is published by Kodansha, as well as Youth Romantic Comedy Wrong Expected Volume 21, sorry, by Yen Press, and Zom 100, Bucket List of the Dead, Volume 14. I really enjoyed Volume 1. I cannot believe, maybe I haven't been keeping up with manga as much, that we're already at Volume 14. My gosh. From other publishers, we have the Archie Giant Comic Frenzy coming out that week, and that is, of course, being published by Archie Comics. We are getting the Becoming Who We Are graphic novel, and that is being published by the folks at A Wave Blue World Incorporated. And we're getting Eden Frost in trade paperback format, as well as Eventually Everything Connects coming out that very same week. And that is being published by the folks at Graphic Mundi, and $21.95. And Fantagraphics Underground Lost Worlds of George Metzer is coming out in a trade paperback format. That one's $50. And then we're also getting Fantagraphics Underground World, My Fairy Godfather, coming out in a trade paperback format for $25. H.P. Lovecraft's Call of Cthulhu is coming out in a graphic novel format. Joe Pineapple's Tin Man is coming out, and that is a trade paperback. And Maple Terrace is coming out that very same week, and that one is being published by the folks at Uncivilized Books. And we're also getting Mark Twain's War Prayer hardcover. That looks freaking awesome. That's by Fantagraphics Books by Seymour Chwast. Probably butchering. Oh, I know I'm butchering that name. And the Six Gun Omnibus Volume 2 is coming. So they're releasing these week by week. The T-Dragon Society is coming out in a slipcase box set edition, being published by the folks at Oni Press. My daughter and I love that book. We actually have the box set because we love that series so much. But this looks like a trade paperback version for $34.99. This is done by K. O'Neill. If you haven't read it and you got kids, oh, it's great. The Ribbon Queen is coming out that very same week, and that is being published by the folks at AWA, and $19.99 for this trade paperback. This is Garth Ennis and Jason Burrows, collecting the 8-issue, I assume it's an 8-issue miniseries. And The Worst Ronin, not to be confused with The Last Ronin, is coming out that week. And that is being published by the folks at Harper Alley. Both a hardcover and a softcover are coming out at the same time. And World Without End is coming out. And that is being published by Zando. And that one is $35. And I believe this one is a trade paperback by Jean-Marc Jancovici and Christopher Blaine. Okay. And here we go with the last week with The Incredible Hulk by Byrne and Casey Omnibus from Marvel Comics. So this is the one that, what I like to call the big gap filler after the Peter David Omnibus Volume 4. We get this, and then we get the Hulk, the Paul Jenkins, what was it? The Hulk, War Dogs, I think is what it was called. It was an oversized hardcover. So this is a nice gap filler. I love when Marvel does this, collecting Hulk 468 to 474, which wraps up that era of Hulk, and then the relaunch in 1999, issues 1 through 11, Hulk Submariner Annual 98, and X-Man and Hulk Annual 98, Hulk Annual 99, and Rampaging Hulk 1 through 6, 768 pages, $100. So it is by John Byrne and Joe Casey, but you have Javier Pulido and, of course, Ron Garney doing some of the artwork in here. Both covers available the same day. Amazing Spider-Man Epic Collection Big Apple Battleground. So this is collecting Amazing Spider-Man 165 to 185, Amazing Spider-Man Annual 11 through 12, Nova number 12, and then Marvel Calendar 1978. So we're looking at the Len Wein and the Marv Wolfman era because that was the crossover with Nova. Ross Andrews supplying a lot of the artwork in here. Beautiful artwork at that. Punisher, The Bullet That Follows. This is by David Pepose and Dave Watcher. And this is collecting the Punisher series, or mini-series, 1 through 4. $15.99, 112 pages. Hulk, World War Hulk Omnibus. This is the new printing. Great Pak story, but oh my gosh, it's so much more because it's everything in this omnibus. John Romita Jr. supplying the artwork for the main miniseries, and a lot of other artists supplying the artwork for the other ongoing and miniseries. This is one that I know a lot of people have been wanting back in print, and now it is coming back to print the last week of the month. 1,304 pages, $150. Avengers Epic Collection, Earth's Mightiest Heroes. So Volume 1, collecting issues 1 through 20 of the Avengers. $44.99, 456 pages. And it will have the new title on the new logo of Avengers, the classic logo there. Hulk Grand Design. Man, Hulk is getting a lot of love this week. Hulk Grand Design. This is collecting Monster and Madness together in a trade paperback. It has been available in a Treasury edition before. It's 120 pages. This is all written and drawn by Jim Rugg. $17.99. From the world of DC Comics, we kick it off with DC Pride, Better Together. This is another one that's a hardcover for $19.99, 168 pages. There are stories in here. DC Pride 2023. So Tim Drake, Circuit Breaker, The Flash, Midnighter, Apollo, Alan Scott, Green Lantern, and then Ghostmaker and Catman, John Kent, John Constantine, or Constantine, depending on where you're from, Natasha Irons, Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy, and Crush, and Multiversity by Grant Morrison and Hayden Sherman. So that's the type of stories you're going to be finding in there. And then Batman the Knight, Volume 1 by Chip Zdarsky and Carmine Di Giandomenico. Collecting Batman the Knight 1 through 10, $29.99 as a trade paperback, 312 pages. Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths. This is the Joshua Williamson and Daniel Sampere series, and that is now coming out in a trade paperback. From the world of Image Comics, we have the Avis Demon Book 2 Aftermath. This is an original graphic novel for $17.99. I believe it is like a smaller size book too. And we're also getting Little Monsters hardcover volume 2. This is the Jeff Lemire and Dustin Wynn series. This would have been number 13 in my top 10. Just letting you all know. This may be my loophole on how I get by with more than just 10. But I'm a huge fan of both of these creators, so I cannot wait for this series. They're the ones that did the oh my gosh, what was that series called? Little Robot Future. Of course, this will come to me after I film the video. This always happens. Okay, Devolution. I know you're sitting there yelling at me right now, probably like, dude, what are you talking about? Oh, what is it called? Inceptor? What is the series called? This dissecting. No, Descender. Ascender and Descender. Damn, I'm stupid. Okay. Anyway, where was I? Yes, those are coming out. That's coming out. And we're also getting New Burn, Volume 2. And that is by Chip Zdarsky and Jacob Phillips. This collects New Burn issues 9 through 16, $16.99. I cannot believe I forgot Descender and Ascender. Okay, moving on. From the world of Boom Studios, we have Expanse Dragon Tooth Volume 2 coming out that week. And that is by Andy Diggle and Francesco Pisa. And we are also getting Magic Book 1. And that cover is awesome. That's by Miguel Mercado. Jen McKay, Iguara are the creators behind this, and collects Magic 1 through 10. $24.99. From the world of IDW, we are getting My Little Pony Classics Reimagined. This is by Jeremy Whitley and Jenna Ayub. This is 96 pages and $12.99. And that is coming out, that's last week of the month. From Dynamite, we have 007, so Agent 007, for King and Country. This is by Philip Kennedy Johnson. Dang. And the cover there is by Joseph Michael Linsner. That's an awesome cover. The internal art is by Giorgio Spalletta. And this is $24.99, and it is one of those hardcovers. They have the 007 books are just phenomenal. Barbarella Volume 2, Woman Untamed, is coming out in a trade paperback edition. And we are also getting the Brandon Sanderson's White Sand Omnibus. Now, this is the trade paperback. I did the overview of the hardcover last year sometime, if you want to go and check it out, what the internal artwork looks like. Draculina, Simple Blood, no, not a volume number, just Simple Blood. And that's coming out in a trade paperback format. And Garbage Pail Kids Origins is coming out. Hopefully no more delays, because I'm really looking forward to that book. There's a hardcover and a trade paperback edition. As a fan of collecting those when I was a kid, I love the Garbage Pail Kids, even the stupid movie. I know. Immortal Red Sonja, Volume 2 is coming out that very same week. And that one there, I believe, is by Dan Abnett. Yeah, that one's by Dan Abnett. That cover's beautiful. Covers by Lyrics. And Alessandro Rinaldi is the artist on that book internally. And Samurai Sonja is coming out that very same week. And that is a trade paperback by Jordan Clark. And we are also getting Vampirella Mind Warp coming out that very same week. And that is done by, is it Jeff Parker? Yeah, that's the Jeff Parker series. And Benjamin Dewey is the artist. And he was doing the Namor series. And Jeff Parker is just a very underrated writer. I'm a big fan of everything he's done. And Victory by David Walker and Brad Weldeley. That's coming out that very same week. That one is a trade paperback for $19.99. From the world of manga, we have Breakfast with My Two Cat Tailed. Oh, if only life was that simple. Only life was that. Daigo the Beast Volume 5 from Udon Studios is coming out that week. Continuing that series, Dreaming Volume 2 from IP Comics. And that is not a joke. Is it IP Comics? I just want to make sure. Let me see. IP exclamation mark Comics? IPI Comics. Sorry about that, IPI Comics. That's by Queenie Chan. And we're also getting Even So I Will Love You Tenderly coming out that very same week. And that's being published by Digital Manga Distribution. We're getting Get Schooled Volume 2. And that is being published by the folks at Blaze Publishing. And looks like it's getting 2 covers. Looks like 2 covers. And I can't say no to Lonely Girl Volume 2. I hear you. Man, I still love these titles coming at us from Japan. Only Stars Know Volume 1 is coming out that very same week. And that is being published by the folks at Seven Seas Entertainment. And we're also getting Turns Out My Online Friend Is My Real Life Boss. Such an awesome title. Okay, great. Let's keep moving. Yada Momo Volume 1 is coming out. By the way, that was a Volume 1. I can't even talk anymore. Yada Momo is also a Volume 1. That is being published by Kuma. And Ganable Volume 1 is coming out that very same week. From other publishers, we have Bertle and the Very Unwelcome Gary coming out that last week of the month. And that's published by Andrews McNeil. Bloodshot, Blood of Heroes is coming out that very same week. And one of my favorite ones is coming out that week. And that is My Favorite Thing is Monsters Volume 2. It's supposed to be out on May 29th. Here's hoping. Because my wife and I are a huge fan of this series. But I will say that it's got a lot of mature themes in it. The art style might seem a little kiddish, but just because it looks like it's hand drawn on notebook paper, but it's got a lot of mature themes in it. And it is a wonderful, sometimes hard to read book. I love it though. So if you haven't had a chance to read the first one, definitely read that before reading this one. This is the one by Emil Ferris. And to me, the first book is just a freaking wonderful masterpiece. So hopefully this won't have any more delays and it will end up coming out this week. But, you know, sometimes books get stuck in boats and stuff. Books of Clash, Volume 3, Legends of Legendarius. Legends of Legendarius. Boy, that's a hard one to say. Okay, but that one is coming out that very same week, as well as Catalytic Conversions, Infinite Wheat Paste, Volume 1 is coming out that very same week. The Battle of Britain War, and that is a hardcover coming out from the folks at Rebellion 2000 AD, and that is by Ian Kennedy. So, big fan of Ian Kennedy's stuff. And honestly, I got to know Ian Kennedy's work through 2000 AD. But very cool that that's actually coming out here in America. Like, there's a lot of awesome books that are coming out in America that I never thought we'd see the light of day. And now we are truly living in the age, like what I call the golden age of collected editions. It's amazing. We're also getting the Classics Illustrated Cyrano de Bergerac coming out, and the Classics Illustrated Moonstone coming out that week. And that is all being published by, of course, Classics Illustrated. So old school books. The Pathfinder is also coming out. Rip Van Winkle and Sleepy Hollow. I remember having I had no, maybe I had a copy of this at one time. It was a comic book version. And then Uncle Tom's Cabin. All of these, by the way, are in trade paperback format. Cloud Puppy is coming out from Athenaeum Books for young readers. And we're also getting the Comic Book Implosion Expanded Edition. That is a hardcover, though. And that is being published by Tomorrow's Publishing. A Wave Blue World is publishing Color of Always LBGTQIA Love Anthology. And that is a trade paperback. And then we are getting the Eventually Everything Connects coming out that very same week. And getting King of the Moths, also coming out the last week of the month. Maelstrom, A Prince of Evils, coming out in a graphic novel and hardcover format. The Mighty Barbarians is coming out that last week of the month. And we are also getting the Nasty Complete series trade paperback. And that is being published by Vault Comics. And Nomad, Cave of Broken Tombs is coming out in a trade paperback edition, as well as Outlaw Shores of Medalis Volume 2 coming out that very same week. Princess Guinevere and the Jewel Riders is coming out that week, and that is being published by the folks at Maverick Mad Cave. That's the young adult books or the kid books that they're putting out. And the Sereno is coming out in a trade paperback edition, and that is being published by the folks at CEX Publishing. And then we're also getting Shepherdess Warriors Volume 1 coming out that week, as well as the Six Gun Shadow Roads Volume 1. They are pumping those out. The Spirit Soul Collector Volume 1 is coming out in a hardcover and a trade paperback edition. The Man from Maybe is coming out in a trade paperback edition. I love that cover. And that is being published by Oni Press. Upstaged coming out. And I believe Upstage, yeah, that one is a graphic novel or trade paperback and a hardcover edition. And then A Witch's Guide to Burning is coming out that very same week. And that is being published by the folks over at Drawn and Quarterly. I love that cover. That is by Aminder de Lawal, and he is the writer and artist on the book. And then we are getting the Zero Cow Cares Armadillo Prophecy. And that is coming out in a graphic novel format, published by the folks at Ablaze. Now, if you're interested in purchasing any of these books, don't forget to check out our sponsor, cheapgraphicnovels.com, your online home for graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off cover price. They have excellent shipping and prompt and helpful service. Check out their bargain deals for up to 90% off cover price. And don't forget that CGN also takes pre-orders. That way you don't miss out on the hottest releases. And they are currently running a special promotion for you Minties. If you're a first-time customer, after receiving your order confirmation email, reply back to that email and let them know Near Mint Condition sent you their way. They will then apply a free shipping promotional credit to your next order in the US. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discount, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more. And those were your collected editions coming out the month of May of 2024. In the comments below, let me know which books you are picking up, which ones you've never heard of, and hopefully none of these get delays, knock on wood. If you have any questions, leave them down below. Big thank you again to our patrons for making videos like this possible. If you wanted the written documentation, that is also found on our Patreon. The link is in the description below. We are on Spreadshop, where we have stickers and t-shirts, and when we went to the convention, I did get to see people wearing Near Mint Condition t-shirts, and that was really cool. But that's it, everybody. Stay healthy and safe out there. Much love.